Hello and welcome to the Marketing 101 for Small Business Owners podcast. I'm your host, Philippa Channer, and I'm a content marketing strategist focused on helping small business owners master their marketing one podcast message at a time. Now, if you're new here, subscribe to our shows so you can be notified each week when new content is delivered. That way, you can learn all you need to feel more informed and confident with your marketing strategies. The new year is just a few days away. This year, I'm hoping to actually have the entire family stay up and ring in the new year together. Man, when I was younger, staying up all night was just what we did. And it doesn't matter where we went, what we were doing. The New Year's night, we would always ring in the new year together. And I remember actually staying up even past that, sometimes 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. But after having 3 kids, I can't keep myself up. Last year was the first time that some of us managed to stay up all night, but my younger ones all fell out at some point before midnight. We did wake them up so we can celebrate together, and then they went right back to bed. All right, so on this channel, for the past 3 weeks, we've discussed the importance and steps of creating annual marketing goals for your business. All right, so today we'll wrap up the series with a conversation about how to stick with our goals throughout the year and minimize distractions that take you away from reaching your goal. Just like our personal life, it's hard to keep focused on this. So we have to first acknowledge the distraction factor. It's easy to get distracted and lose sight of your marketing goals. You may spend too much time on social media. Even worse, you fall into the trap of spending too much time on Facebook. All right, so if this sounds like you, don't feel bad. It happens to all of us on many different levels, from YouTube, social media, excessively checking emails, and coworkers interrupting you. You're constantly being pulled away from what is important. So throughout the year, new and interesting ideas and opportunities may come up that may be extremely tempting and interesting. They usually end up only distracting you from your true goals, right? So the good news is that there are ways to stay focused and achieve your marketing goals all year long, and acknowledge and be aware of these distractions when they come into place. So first thing you need to do is prepare a time and a place to focus. All right. So the more energy and attention you put into the process of creating and setting goals, the more likely you'll stick with them and they'll mean something to you. So don't take this process lightly, and prepare for this process like you would for a big event. So I mentioned last week talking about when you should set marketing goals, and I did get into setting up a time and a space to prepare your goals. So I'm going to expand on that a little bit more today. All right. So what you want to avoid is searching online for the top business goals for the year and doing whatever comes up based on the search results. While you might get some good sources of inspiration, you must focus on what's best for your business and personalize it. And the best way to do this is to schedule a date, time, and location on your calendar and stick to this appointment. Invite your team members, pick a location away from distractions, away from normal everyday work, so you can focus in and get creative and create your goals, worthwhile goals that mean something. All right, so this coming January, I'm going to go off on a mini retreat with a small group of women entrepreneurs that I network with called the Spark Collective. We're all facing different work challenges and needs, but the one thing that we all have in common is the need for a time and a space that's all on our own to focus on our business for just a few days, distraction free, and then we can plan, whatever it is that we need to do for the year. What I like about this time is that there is no set agenda except when we meet as a group to pray and to eat together. Otherwise, the goal is to have some much needed alone time to focus on what is most important for our business and for our business growth. So not everybody has the ability to take a retreat like that. So, however, being able to take 2 or 3 hours here and there to turn off all notifications and just dig deep, it is manageable and highly recommended. And again, doing this, it's going to set the momentum and the tone for the rest of the year. It's again going to make your goals more impactful. If you just spent 5 minutes again googling a business goal and adapting that, it's not going to mean as much, and it's not going to stick in your heart and your brain as much throughout the year. So you want to do something that's meaningful, thought out, and somewhere you could be present in the process and really think about it. All right. So, okay, how do we keep the momentum going though? Once we've done this and we've Let's say you do your part, you create a nice quiet space to focus on setting your goals, and you get the perfect goal for your business. Now what do you need to do throughout the year to keep the momentum going and strong and actually achieve your goals? Right. So here are some helpful tips for staying focused when you're in the thick of it. First is make sure you set specific goals. Goals can be anything from the number of blog posts you want to publish this month to a certain amount of leads you want to generate each week. Make sure your goals are specific and measurable so you can track your progress more easily. During the first episode of this mini series, it was episode I think 56. Where are we? Yeah, episode 56. We talked about what it takes to make up a SMART goal and why they're so important. So be sure to check out that episode if you need a guide on creating goals. So you want to make sure that they're specific. Specific is a very important part of creating a SMART goal. All right. Another part of SMART goals is the T, or actually, I'll say measurable. You want to be able to measure your progress. So the M. Once you've set up a clear cut goal, take the time each day or week or month to track how well you're doing towards achieving them in order to stay motivated and accountable. Don't be that guy. Don't just set it and forget it. You need to set yourself regular times to reflect on your goals and to track how much progress you and your company are making towards achieving your goals. Again, that's going to help keep your goals top of mind. Don't just set it and forget it. All right. And then next, you want to reflect on your goal often. Tracking your progress and reflecting on your goal are not the same thing. I'm going to say that again. Tracking your progress and reflecting on your goal are not the same thing. Those are two different exercises that you need to do. While you can accomplish them at the same time, you can track and reflect at the same time. You're really flexing different muscles when you're reflecting and not just tracking. So tracking is really just looking at the facts. How much progress did you make? How many followers did you gain? How many sales did you get? Reflecting, on the other hand, on goals takes it a step deeper and says, now what? Now that I've made this progress, or now that I haven't made as much progress, what is next? How do I apply this growth or this need, this gap, and develop and pivot and change? Should we adjust our goal higher or lower based on what has been tracked? So again, reflection, tracking your progress and reflecting on it. All right, the next thing you can do to keep focused and keep the momentum going is to make a plan. A lot can happen in 12 months. Things can come up that can completely derail your progress towards your goals. Right? The key is to make a plan and have it set for what happens if and when your goals get thrown a massive curveball and you're not able to accomplish them in the way you wanted to. How can you adjust your goals to still have something to aim for, but just looks a little different than what you originally hoped for? Right? So make a plan of action of, maybe it's a backup plan per se of how to adjust and pivot if things go wrong. I mean, for instance, nobody could have predicted COVID and how, how that impacted businesses and adjusted and it made people adjust and change. But now that we've gone through something like that, it's smart to have a COVID like plan in place to say, okay, if we ever do face another crisis like this, how are we going to adjust what we're looking for? So when you make your plans, have a backup plan in place that you can pivot on if needed. All right. And then the last thing I suggest that would really help keep the momentum going and keep you focused is to get an accountability partner or team. Ideally, someone that is outside your organization, but close enough to you to know when you may be slacking or giving up. Someone who can see the signs of fatigue and say the right words to bring you back into focus and get you energized towards your goals. They are the sideline cheerleaders and motivational coach throughout the year that can help be there with you. So you want to schedule regular checkup sessions with your accountability partner and share with them your progress and any reflections that you've made along the way. They should be aware of how the goal is coming along at all times and be able to step in when necessary with reminders, motivational tips, and points. Again, this is somebody who's not directly within your organization, but close enough to you to know when you need that extra push and that extra help. All right, so guys, this has been a great series. I actually absolutely love goal setting and this just the progress of just setting up just hopes and expectations for the next year, and then doing what I can to make sure that they're realistic, to make sure they're attainable, putting in those mini goals to help reach the big goal. All of it just, I find it exciting. All right. So if you need any help setting your goals for 2023, or whenever you're ready to start, I would love to be a part of that process and help you along the way. So please sign up for your free consultation session with me so we can get to know each other. We could probably brainstorm some great ideas during your free session, and I would love to be there for you. If you haven't already done so, please like, subscribe, and share this channel. It would be really helpful for me to know that the word's getting out, that it's helping people, and your reviews of our channel, it helps us to know that we're on the right track and we're providing the information that really you need the most. All right, so next year, I should say, we're going to start a new series. We're going to be looking at the different marketing channels. A lot of times when I'm working with a client, they ask me what channels, like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, like what marketing social media platforms should they use for their business? And the answer is almost always, it depends. And so I want to give a series on all of those it depends for each platform. So hopefully we can give you the ins and outs of what perks each platform mean when it comes to small business marketing. There's how you use a social platform personally is different than how you use it for a business. And so hopefully I can answer all of your questions within this series. So we'll be looking at all the major platforms throughout January. And I look forward to it. So you guys have a wonderful new year. I will see you next year, or I'll talk to you next year. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, please do. My information is always in the description of this podcast. You can always reach out to me anytime. All right, you guys have a great week. I'll see you next year.